Okay, Sly.
Thanks a lot.
Took it away. What time is it?
It's at 12:30, 12:25.
Okay, then we are reconvening regular special session at 12:25. Okay. Well, are we gonna wait till Mike comes in?
No.
We're marking time now. Is there any questions you have while we're sitting here?
Not me. No.
I'm gonna have those applications be sent via email to the fiscal officer's email address. She can forward them to you. And you guys set up your own appointments and interviews.
For the
If you,
zoning.
yeah, if you want me to sit in on them and help. I actually teach zoning all over the state of Ohio. I just don't teach it here. I've done other townships in the county, but I don't teach it here. So if you have, but if you want to just do it all by yourself, that's fine too. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'm easy to find.
Okay, good to go. All right, I'd like a motion to terminate an at-will employee, Rick Evans, effective at 3 p.m. Friday, November 19th, 2021. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Bowers. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
For the record, you want to put on that trustee Wacola will be contacting?
Yes. Trustee Warcola will be contacting Mr. Evans tomorrow on November 19th to notify him.
Okay.
You have another one?
Yeah, another motion for disciplinary action for at-will employee Kim Buell, based on recorded incidents. I'm gonna recommend a 1-week suspension effective, I don't have a calendar, Monday.
Monday is the 22nd.
Monday, the 22nd.
That's Thanksgiving week. Maybe we wanted to move to the following week, the 29th.
Just one less day. I'm okay with
I
22nd,
just
actually.
have to stay there.
Just get it done.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor signify by aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
All right, I've got one other one.
Okay.
Actually, two other ones. For OTA this year, for the winter conference, I'd like to get board approval to authorize Laura to make reservations, hotel reservations, and everything else we need for all members to go down to the OTA.
Include trustee elects because
Yeah,
they're not.
yes, and that was the issue.
Okay, I'll second.
Attention Channel Fire Rescue, Lafayette, contact mutual with
Aye.
engine,
Aye.
tender,
Opposed, same sign.
request for the department,
Okay.
89,
All right, one more.
8293 Spencer Lake, 8293 Spencer Lake residential fire alarm.
I'd like to be authorized by the board to pursue and set up
Attention Channel Fire Rescue, Lafayette automatic aid with engine, tender, and squad. request for both departments, fire alarm, 8293 Spencer Lake, 8293 Spencer Lake, covering upstairs smoke. Timeout 12:31.
Okay,
Yeah, well, so one.
I'd like the board to authorize me to pursue an
71.
employee appreciation dinner for
471,
December 15th
three
at
responding.
Williams on Lake, to kind of go in the same lines as we've
Madonna,
done in
Chair,
the
one
past
thirty-seven.
years. We haven't done it for a couple of years because of COVID.
Copy,
I'd like to
both
set that
property
up for you
engineer,
this year.
Route 137, one drive.
Probably not gonna be able to get Williams,
They're
I'm not
out.
sure.
Come on,
notice
man.
If you're
They're out
not,
from
you're
that
not,
hospital
maybe
on
try
Murphy.
Pickle Mamas too.
We
So
could try that.
Include that in the motion in case you can't get Williams.
They're out from the hospital at 12:31.
Or just say a location.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure,
about six.
95 too.
any location.
Is that acceptable to the board?
I didn't know.
Receive the page, Springfield, 100 yes.
Second, any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Good.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion
You
carries.
guys
That's all I have.
right. I'd like to respond to that.
Um,
Yes.
I would make a motion that,
That's right.
the board agrees to make whatever appointment for zoning secretary that the trustees elect choose, if that can be done before the end of the year. I think that's probably the best way to say it. You identify a person, we'll make that hire before the end of the year so that we can get them on board and get things moving, if you could move that quickly. Just makes sense that you guys should do it, so,
Or second,
do it, we can.
okay,
I'd second that.
okay.
any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
That way it doesn't hold you up. We don't have to have another meeting to ratify it. We just go ahead and do it.
Right. You're gonna start advertising right away.
The advertisement will be out on Saturday.
Linda, what's the compensation for the zoning secretary?
Well, when we sit down and go over it, if we're gonna have that pre-organizational meeting, when you sit down and do the organizational meeting, that's something that you decide.
95
We've got a pretty fair compensation package in place.
95 too.
It's not a lot of money, but it's not a lot of work. The zoning minutes are typically one page. The meetings typically last an hour. This last year, the reason we haven't had a secretary is, quite frankly, we were taking each section and doing the legal review, those meetings took 6 to 8 hours. And they were done with our law director, our zoning inspector, and our zoning chair. And I did all of the typing and stuff. And it was about, I'd say 20 to 25 hours a month of meetings and typing. We couldn't afford that. So I just did it. And now that book is all coming back together, all those pieces, parts are coming back together. I'm putting them on thumb drives for all of the board members and stuff. But we're not anywhere near the end of the process now that it's all back together. And the zoning board, by the way, each one of those sections, as soon as that meeting was done, then that section was taken to the zoning board. And the zoning board saw the original, the recommendations, and then what they agreed to, any tweaks that they did, and then we dropped that into one new language. Now all of that's been put together as a book. Now the zoning board has to go through the entire book again, just to make sure that everything's where we remember it and wanted it to be, and nothing's incorrect and that sort of thing. Then that goes to County Planning Commission. County Planning Commission has to come back with their recommendations. That's gonna take several months. No way they're gonna do that quickly. And then there's a public hearing process that the zoning commission has to go through. There's a public hearing process that the trustees have to go through. So it's a long process. But it's not gonna be a lot of typing, it's not gonna be a lot of meetings, it's just gonna be one meeting a month, and it's gonna be the normal stuff. Public hearings, they get paid extra for. There's on the publication process and how that has to happen, I've got a cheat sheet already made out. I've been making a lot of those sheets for Laura on different things so that she has all that stuff. And I can give that to you as well, so that if you just follow the checklist, you'll do everything right.
Do we need to, since you mentioned it, we just want to put on the record that we're going to have a pre-organizational meeting sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas with two trustee elects, and open to current board members as well, with fiscal officer, to go through all the things we're gonna need to do for our actual organizational meeting in January.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff to cover and a lot of stuff to try to understand. It's like drinking through a fire hose.
so let's ask this too. If you want to review compensation, that's probably something that you're going to want to do in executive session to go over the different compensation and how that works. So that would include an executive session. Most of the stuff that we talk about is either going to be procedural or compensation employment-wise. So just so you know that. And if you don't want to do it in an executive session, I don't have any problem doing it in public either, but you may prefer it in executive sessions to give you some latitude for your decision-making, so.
Makes sense.
If I may address general counsel or board counsel relative to Mr. Evans' termination. Can you tell me if that was for cause or for not for cause?
Terminated as an at-will,
What is it?
an at-will employee.
For what reason? Cause or not for cause?
He was just terminated. No
Okay.
cause.
All right, was there a complaint filed against him?
Yes.
Who filed the complaint?
Fiscal officer, that's one of those things.
Fiscal officer did? Okay. And what's the name of your email carrier?
Who?
Your Arizona missions carrier for the board.
So Tarma.
Tara.
I'm sorry,
So Tarma.
Sotama? And this is for Laura. May I have copies of both letters that were sent to the post, set forth this meeting notice? I'll give you my card.
They were actually sent to the Gazette.
The Gazette, oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was the Post. Excuse me. And I think you indicated earlier that the Gazette did not take your earlier posting and post it correctly. Is that-
This part made it in, that part made it in. It was the rest of it that they didn't put in.
All right. So the full notice wasn't sent just for the
No,
special?
the full notice was sent to the Gazette, but they condensed it when they published it.
Okay.
The Gazette is the only local publication of general circulation now. The Post doesn't circulate anymore. Hasn't for,
All right.
I don't know, about a year.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, motion to adjourn. Anybody have anything else before we do that? Okay, motion to adjourn. We have a second.
One second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Who made the motion to adjourn?
I did. Marty seconded.
What time is it?
12:39.
You might even have another card.
Okay.
I want to put your email and phone number too.
I'm gonna set them up with township